a town hall different from Bulaba.
Perform the functions of my office conscientiously, okay? And the best of my ability. Conscientiously.
Across Africa, microphones have seen it all: confidence, charisma, and complete chaos. One moment, a president is declaring victory. The next, he's saying, Bala blue blue bulaba. From forgotten lines to biblical blunders, these are the moments where leaders spoke and history laughed. Here is a list of 10 most embarrassing speeches of African presidents. At number 10, Muhammadu Buhari. In 2016, President Muhammadu Buhari launched his Change Begins With Me campaign, a national call for honesty and discipline. Inspiring stuff, until Nigerians noticed his speech sounded too familiar. We must resist the temptation to fall back on the same partisanship. Hold up, that's Barack Obama. Turns out, Buhari's team copied entire lines from Obama's 2008 victory speech. Yes, the man preaching change forgot to change the speech. Social media went wild. Buhari didn't plagiarize, he just outsourced inspiration. The presidency apologized, blaming an overzealous staff, but Nigerians had already crowned him the African Obama, without the accent. At number 9, Nana Akufo-Addo, Ghana, 2017. Nana Akufo-Addo steps up for his big inauguration speech. The crowd's hyped, the music fades, and then he starts sounding, well, a little too familiar. Let us look forward and not backward.
Though our challenges are fearsome, so are our strengths.
Though our challenges are fearsome, so are our strengths.
Wait, isn't that Bill Clinton? Then came another line straight from George W. Bush. In just 10 minutes, Ghana's new president managed to plagiarize 2 U.S. presidents in one speech. Twitter lost it. He didn't steal a speech, he dropped a remix. DJ Nana on the mic, featuring Clinton and Bush. The government apologized, calling it an oversight. But Ghanaians had already renamed the ceremony, the United States of Ghana. At number 8, Yoweri Museveni, Uganda, 2016. President Yoweri Museveni took the mic at a ceremony honoring Israel's rescue mission at Entebbe Airport. The crowd expected history. Instead, they got biblical confusion. Museveni, trying to praise Israel, suddenly said, "I salute our brothers in Palestine." I mean Israel. Herod was a bad gentleman, or something like that. The audience froze. Journalists blinked. Even the cameraman zoomed in like, did he just call Israel Palestine? Social media went crazy. Museveni just caused a mini Middle East crisis. From Uganda, at least he remembered Herod. Not everyone in politics reads the Bible. It became one of East Africa's funniest presidential bloopers. Proof that sometimes even history lessons need editing.
Turned into another bond linking Palestine to Africa. I say this is yet another bond between Africa and Palestine because there were earlier bonding events.
At number 7, Paul Biya, Cameroon's Paul Biya, has been president since disco was still trending, and sometimes it shows. At the US-Africa Summit, Biya was invited to the stage, and for a full 10 seconds, he just stood there, staring, like a man who'd walked into the wrong meeting. The announcer said, "Your Excellency, the floor is yours." Biya blinked, looked around, and whispered, "What floor?" The clip went viral across Africa. One tweet read, "When you've been president so long, you forget which term you're in." Others joked that Biya was buffering. Please wait, speech loading. It wasn't his only awkward moment either. During live addresses, he's been caught flipping through pages, clearly lost, while his aides panic behind the cameras. For a man in power since 1982, Biya has mastered one thing: staying calm, even when his brain says, connection lost.
Je dois parler maintenant.
At number 6, William Ruto, the presidential roll call gone wrong. Kenya 2022. It was William Ruto's big day, his inauguration as president. World leaders filled the stadium, TV cameras were rolling, and the master of ceremonies said, "Mr. President, please recognize our visiting heads of state." Easy task, right? Except Ruto somehow forgot one. He skipped over Sierra Leone's President Julius Maada Bio completely. When aides reminded him, he fumbled, laughed awkwardly, and mispronounced the man's name. The crowd chuckled, the camera zoomed in, and Sierra Leone's leader smiled that polite, "I'll remember this" kind of smile. Within hours, Kenyan Twitter was on fire. Ruto just turned diplomacy into a spelling bee. Imagine flying 4,000 miles to be called Mr. Bayo. It was supposed to be a proud moment, but instead it became a viral meme about presidential roll calls. Moral of the story? Always double-check your guest list, especially when they're presidents too. At number 5, Cyril Ramaphosa, the speech that went silent. When South Africa's president Cyril Ramaphosa stepped up to speak at the United Nations, everyone expected a polished statesman moment. He straightened his tie, smiled confidently, and began. "Distinguished delegates, South Africa stands." Click. The mic went dead.
I would like to welcome the demonstrable groundswell of support for the establishment of the much-awaited state of Palestine by 142 nations.
The speaker's microphone has been cut off.
For a few awkward seconds, Ramaphosa stood there frozen, silently moving his lips like a man giving a TED Talk in sign language. The camera panned to the audience, confused diplomats whispering, "Is this performance art?" Eventually, a technician rushed in, fixed the mic, and Ramaphosa awkwardly chuckled before continuing. But by then, Twitter had already named it the most peaceful speech in UN history. South Africans joked, even the microphone was tired of politics. Ramaphosa later laughed it off, but the moment lives forever online as the day the president of South Africa went on mute, literally. At number 4, Robert Mugabe, copy and paste presidential edition. In 2015, Zimbabwe's longtime ruler Robert Mugabe pulled off something truly historic. He gave the exact same speech, twice. Yep, word for word, line for line, 3 weeks apart. At first, the parliament thought it was déjà vu. Then someone checked and realized Mugabe's staff had accidentally handed him the old speech again. So there he was, confidently reading about issues already solved weeks ago. Lawmakers looked confused. The audience looked traumatized. And Zimbabweans online said, even Mugabe's speeches are tired of his presidency. When the press asked how it happened, his office blamed it on a mix-up. But the internet had a better answer. Maybe the teleprompter just hit replay. For a man famous for his iron grip, Mugabe proved one thing that day. He could hold on to power. And apparently to old speeches too. At number 3, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, from Bala Blue to Akufo-Addo economics. No list of African presidential speech fails is complete without Nigeria's very own Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a man whose microphone moments deserve their own Netflix special. At a 2022 APC rally, Tinubu tried to hype up the crowd and said, "A town hall, different from Bala Blue Bulaba."
Town hall, different from Bala Blue Bulaba.
The nation stopped. What was that, a language, a password, a cry for help? Nigerians turned it into songs, memes, TikToks, even remixes called Bala Blue Anthem. Then came another gem. While praising Governor El Rufai, Tinubu proudly declared he has a vision for turning a rotten situation to a bad one. Bro turned a compliment into an insult. And just when Nigerians thought it couldn't get funnier, Tinubu promised, "You will grow corn. You will eat Akufo-Addo and cassava." That's when Akufo-Addo economics was born, the official policy of vibes and starch. Whether it's Bala Blue, Akufo-Addo, or dollar will turn to Naira, one thing's for sure. When Tinubu speaks, the subtitles resign. At number 2, Pemmy Majodina, South Africa, 2024. Newly sworn-in Minister Pemmy Majodina steps up to take her oath of office. The cameras are rolling, Parliament is silent, and then the oath hits that one dangerous word, and that I will perform my duties conscientiously,
and to perform the functions of my office conscientiously, and the best of my ability.
She tried again and again, but conscientiously refused to cooperate. The whole room burst into laughter. Even the Chief Justice couldn't keep a straight face. On social media, South Africans declared, "Conscientiously has left the chat. Majodina just invented a new dialect, conscientiously." To her credit, she laughed it off later, saying, "English is not our mother tongue." And honestly, she's right. But that day, her oath became the most replayed tongue twister in African politics. Finally, at number 1, Jacob Zuma. When former South African President Jacob Zuma takes the mic, nobody knows if it's a speech or a stand-up show. At one event, he began powerfully, in the beginning, then paused, looked down, looked up again, and completely forgot what came next. The crowd waited, he blinked, then started over. In the beginning, the room exploded with laughter. Even Zuma himself couldn't help but grin. The man had just gone blank mid-Genesis. And that's not his only classic. At a budget announcement, he once tried to read a large number, 777, 77,707. He gave up halfway and just said, "A lot of money." Twitter went wild. Zuma invented the world's first emotional calculator. When math and politics collide, nobody survives. From in the beginning to a lot of money, Jacob Zuma proved one thing: you don't need numbers to make people count the laughs.